And without further ado, let's get this party started. So let me give you a quick background on this next story. We were talking about Derek Chauvin stabbing, and I'm trying my hardest not to make a big deal out of it because I can't put the pieces together if I want to. So I'm just going to say it's a coincidence. Derek Chauvin has been for the last couple of months, years, trying to get his case retried, stating that the whole case has been so polarizing that it would be very hard for him to get a fair trial. Well, it did go up to the Supreme Court, who has turned down to even listen to it. So I don't know what's going to happen after that, but as soon as that news broke, then we got this news.
Breaking story overnight. Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd, attacked in a federal prison, and he was seriously injured. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more on this story. Good morning, Jacqueline.
Hey, Gio, good morning. George Floyd's death obviously rocked the country in 2020, sparking nationwide protests about police brutality and race relations. And now sources say the man at the center of it all, found guilty of murdering Floyd, is in the hospital. This morning, sources tell ABC News Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd by kneeling on his neck, sparking massive civil rights protests, is now in the hospital with serious injuries after getting stabbed by another inmate.
The court commits you to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 270 months.
47-year-old Chauvin is serving out his 21-year federal sentence for violating Floyd's civil rights and a 22-and-a-half-year state sentence for second-degree murder at this medium-security federal correctional facility in Tucson, Arizona. Back in August, officials moved him there from this maximum-security Minnesota state prison, where he was mainly kept in solitary confinement largely for his own protection. The Bureau of Prisons only revealing an incarcerated individual was assaulted at the Federal Correctional Institution, Tucson, yesterday. In a recent documentary called The Fall of Minneapolis, Chauvin spoke to the media for the first time, calling the trial and sentencing a sham, claiming his use of his knee on Floyd's neck was part of his police training manual.
In fact, I'm looking at it right now. 5-316, maximal restraint technique, right in their written policy manual.
And sources say Chauvin is, as of now, in stable condition and is expected to survive, but we have not heard back from his attorney or the prison.
All right, then. So what you think?
I don't think anything of it. I think that whatever happens to him, happens to him. I could care less. And then this should be on a wider lens, something to pay attention to as far as the unchecked violence inside of the prisons. So this time it happened to him, and because it's somebody that most of us don't care about, it's like whatever. But there are countless men and women who go to prison and their sentence is to do time, but unfortunately they're put into this gauntlet of survival where, you know, your life is just at stake because you're dealing with people with a variety of mental issues, emotional issues, anger issues, just so much mess. And then you got the prison staff and everybody else who's also violent and stuff. So I mean, this won't do it, but I just wish that more interest was taken into what happens inside of our prisons.